All right, and welcome all. For any who don't know me, I'm Dave from Terrain Kickers Podcast. I'm doing this myself. In this really short video, I just want to go over a few updates. We wanted to discuss a giveaway we're doing. We also want to discuss the launching of the Patreon that we're going to do and kind of just go through some short details related to all those things. Why don't we start with updates, though? So for a few of the updates, goal is we're keeping things as is. We, in general, try to record 1 to 2 things a week. Some weeks we record extra, and some of it just takes me a while to edit. So we do have quite a bit. We actually I have like 5 different videos to edit, so we're working on those. But we usually, as you guys might notice, we aim for either a Wednesday or a Friday release. Sometimes things fall a little bit out depending on health and other things that are going on. But that's the overall goal. Keeping up with 30K, so we just released some stuff on Solar Auxilia, which was actually surprisingly very popular. I don't see them much, at least in our general area, so I wasn't sure how many people actually liked them and wanted to hear and think about them and see some options and all. So that was actually really nice. We have plenty more coming with that. We have units from main books, narrative coverage, tactics. We have tons of content still coming for that. Goal is to try to at least put out something each week, 30K related. Battle report wise, sometimes that might make it slip an extra week because those just take more time. We are going to be doing battle reports with those. I currently have 2 that have been done. We were supposed to record one the other day. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out with the time change and all. It kind of threw people off a bit. But we have one I recorded in a store. And the plan with that one is to release it. But I'm probably going to do some audio over the top so you guys don't have to listen to random people talking at the store. The other one we're actually going to try something in more of a narrative focus. The idea of this, now, we're going to release the first one. It's going to be rough. But the idea of this is to actually more follow a unit or pieces through the battle and kind of do it from a narrative, purely their sort of perspective. My goal is to be able to release that and then the actual full battle report shortly thereafter. The first one, like I said, it's kind of rough, but I'm still going to put it out with that as the caveat, and that way we can kind of see what people think about it and especially ways to constructively improve it. I'm fully aware that some improvements need to be made, but I think it's still a worthwhile thing. So we're working on that. Normal battle reports, like I said, we're supposed to film a 3K the other day. We didn't get a chance to, but we have some other good opportunities coming very soon, and we want to kind of get into the habit of doing that and start cycling through other people, other armies, that way we can see some other pieces. That kind of covers the 30K sort of ideas. We do want to go back and do more Titanicus. In particular, we didn't do the Loyalist book. We know that we just started getting into other games, and then we just haven't gotten a chance to get back. They've actually made some small announcements for Titanicus. At the time of this recording, they just announced, as of today, the conversion beamer upgrades for a lot of the Titans. So there's some pieces there, and a lot of that honestly just depends on popularity. I don't know, can't speak necessarily for the other guys. I haven't played in a little bit. Still greatly interested. Still have all my Titans upstairs. I still have to record the video for up there. We just have to see what we have time for, because obviously, we don't mind making it. But if no one watches it, then okay, there's some other things. But based off of all of that, we have things we'd like to do with that as well. The other big thing that you've seen Dan and myself and Steve now slowly getting into is Conquest. So we actually just yesterday, as of recording of this, filmed a Conquest battle report that'll be coming out hopefully very soon. We have some other ones planned. We have from some different games that we're going to, some different store events and stuff like that. We're going to be filming all that kind of stuff. We still have our learner series that we're going to be putting out. Some of those are on TTS because we just don't have the armies. As we go through and build up some new factions, I'm building up Nords. Dan is building up, as well as Steve. They're both building up city-states. We're going to be making some kind of follow-alongs with that, kind of discussing our views as we build up these armies and all. I personally am going to do some videos related to just discussing them in a very general overview, so people have an idea what these different factions are, what they look like, a little bit of lore, all those sort of ideas. And we'll be doing some deep dives in the future. We kind of want our viewpoint, at least I think now, is that it's 30K and Conquest are the 2 main things we'll talk about. When something else cool happens, we'll always bring that up. But those are sort of the main focuses that we have. We're also in talks with some people kind of far away to see if they want to contribute in, because they reached out and we'd love to get on the same page with that. So we are working on that. So goal, obviously, more podcast episodes, more battle reports, more just other videos in general, especially next week. I actually have off, so I can kind of sit down and record a whole bunch of stuff, because when I have time off, I don't really have anything to do, and I get bored really easily. So between painting like 1,000 points of an army for an event in a week and a half, same weekend as Adepticon, though not Adepticon, doing that and probably recording as much stuff as I can / other people being around. All right, second thing I want to mention. We'll talk about the giveaway last, because that way we don't just tune out. What we wanted to mention next then is Patreon. So we are launching one. At the time of this, there will be a link below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on podcatchers, then we'll put the name in. Obviously, it shows our name, but we'll put that as well. We wanted to wait. We're almost about 2 years in. We wanted to wait, not so much our cost-wise. I mean, I don't know if anyone else does this. There's costs associated, sometimes small, sometimes fairly large. Mostly I wanted to wait because I wanted to get enough stuff out and have enough consistency and have enough of a plan that anyone who actually wanted to donate to that felt that they were getting value out of it. I didn't want to do it when it would feel like we weren't either consistent or what we were doing would change so wildly. Like if you're like, oh man, yeah, I'll give them something because, they're putting out stuff I like, and because I like 30K, and then you found out we were dropping it. We're not. But I wouldn't want it to be that sort of case. I wouldn't want it to feel that you're not going to get, a value out of doing that and helping support the costs associated with all of this, especially as we would like to do, like I said, more battle report stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have looked at cameras. They're actually rather expensive for a good one. So as we try to add in things and do stuff better, there's associated costs with that. So, we would like to put that out and see if anyone is interested in helping. There is no expectation. I would never plan on locking anything behind the Patreon unless it just was a thing I wouldn't want to release. Like, in other words, if I didn't think it was that great and we put it up there almost as sort of a blooper sort of thing, there's no thought to put things behind there that others can't see. There'll be, updates, and we'll have the spot there for polls. So anyone on that can essentially help vote on certain things we do, or army coverage, or whatever it may be. But we wouldn't want to lock actual physical content, no videos, anything like that, like I said, unless it's something I wouldn't put out any other reason, because it's sort of a blooper thing, or maybe just some random images of stuff, nothing too crazy. If you look at it, we have a few different levels. I will put this out there now. We are not tied in any way to the rewards we put down. We wanted to put something, obviously, but if someone is like, hey, I kind of like this, but if they have a reward idea, we're obviously listening. We put down 3 different levels. At the highest level, we put down creating content with us if you want to be on roundtable discussions or things like that. I don't know if anyone's interested in that, but I wanted to put something. So we put that, but if someone's got other ideas, we're absolutely listening. So we do have that. If you have the means, it's something we ask you to consider. Obviously, we're not going to be, like I said, nothing's behind it, anything like that. But it's something to consider. So we do thank you for any consideration. We thank you for anyone who does. And if you either can't, won't, or anything like that, we completely understand. If you'd like to, but you can't contribute because your financial situations, let's face it, the world is still hard. Just tell people about the podcast. Tell people about the channel. That in itself is so meaningful to us. Over the last year and a half, we've had quite a bit of growth. We still have a lot of people who watch who don't subscribe, and part of the giveaway is to maybe get them to hit that button, because YouTube doesn't care about you until you get certain numbers and all. But we do really want to thank people. It is impressive when you start doing this and you don't necessarily think anyone's going to watch, and you do it because you feel like it, and partially because, hey, why not? Have the time, hey, might as well. And it does start to become a labor of love, because there is quite a bit of work that gets involved. Editing does take a while, those sorts of things. Instead of painting, sometimes I get behind because I'm working on things for this. But we do really enjoy it, and it's especially something when people who we don't know, sometimes not even local, say something to us, reach out, like, oh, hey, yeah, I, saw you guys here, or heard you talk there, and, that really means a lot. So, I want to make sure it comes across that we're very appreciative of that. So we did some updates. We talked about the Patreon that we've now launched to see what happens with that. The other part is a giveaway. So we go to 30K events. We actually have one coming up in a week and a half. And if we win there, we'll probably just do another giveaway because we want something. But when we go, there's essentially a raffle. And when there's a raffle, you can win something. And what we got was the Leviathan Siege Dreadnought with ranged weapons. So got this. And since I have this, and I already have a Leviathan for each of my army, and I don't want to run more because that kind of feels bad. Because of that, then we're actually going to give it away. Now, few little restrictions on this. First thing is, so we're in New Jersey, so we're looking at continental United States. I know we do have listeners abroad. What I will say, you may enter as well if you know. Shipping, it will be a nightmare. Let's be honest. It wouldn't be worth it. It might be, depending on where, either quite a bit or, you'll never know if you get it because, the cheap shipping takes forever on a slow boat kind of thing. What I will say though is, for the value that we have for this, if you have, say, a friendly local gaming store that we could get in contact with and do something there with them, so in terms of, say, a gift card or something like that, then sure. So if you're outside of the continental US, just be aware if you don't have, like a friendly local gaming store or some way we can contact to be able to do that, probably can't do anything with you this time. We will look at some options in the future. But I said shipping, I've done international shipping before, and I just want to avoid it for the moment. But again, if you have suggestions from people who are abroad, let us know because we'd like to do more of this in the future. So for what we have right now. Now, if you do listen related to if you're US and you listen for other content, we will have some stuff for the future for that. We just don't have it right this moment. So this is what we're doing for the moment. If you would, one, you do have to be subscribed. We would hope that people do subscribe. So one, you do have to be subscribed to the channel. Costs you absolutely nothing. Costs you a click of a button. So you have to go on YouTube and subscribe. The other thing you have to do, because the easiest way to be able to pull names is if you leave a comment on this video. And in the comment, you just put down why you watch us. So in other words, what game system? Are you here because of 30K? Are you here because of Conquest? Some people come for one and they're kind of interested in the other. I'm curious what people show up for or what games are at the forefront in people's minds. Obviously we'll be looking through the comments just to be able to kind of see what people say. And also then YouTube has a really nice way for me to be able to pull based off of comments to be able to randomly generate someone to win. If you do win, obviously, we'll be contacting you to let you know who won. We'll have to probably make a short thing saying who won, so you can probably maybe reach out to us. That way you don't have to put your information down. You can reach out to us, we can verify who you are, and then we can get this sent off to you. Like I said, we do have plans for other things in the future. This is just the one that we have right now. So if you want to win it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Post, again, contiguous United States. They said unless you're abroad and in a friendly local gaming store we could work something out with, in terms of like a gift card or something like that. And then you just have to type why you listen to us. What game is exciting you? And if it's you're here for one game, but something else really excites you, you can say that as well. I know at least between all of us, we play a variety of things. So, there's nothing that doesn't say we do some one-off discussions related to other topics that we just think are cool. We want to fit what people want to hear, listen, watch, all of that. So you tell us what you like, and as long as we enjoy it, we're going to do stuff about it. All right, so this has already been long enough. That tells you what you have to do for that. So time-wise, we are going to run this. We'll run it. I think at this point, we're probably going to run it for 2 weeks. I think that sounds good. Originally, I had a subscriber number in mind for this one. No, but as we get closer to 1,000, I have a much better idea in mind, or a bigger sort of giveaway to get us to that cresting point. But right now, the idea is we'll run this for 2 weeks. I am going to put that, we had to see some increase in subscribers of literally 0, but, as long as we get something, we do always get a little something. So the idea is 2 weeks. So today is the 13th. We are going to run that, or time of listening, it would actually probably be the 14th for you guys. So we're going to run this till the 28th. Actually, why don't we just say the end of the month? because by the time you guys see this, it'll be 14 days, will be just about end of the month. So let's just put it end of month. So my apologies for before. We're just going to make this right to the end of March. So by end of March, have essentially commented on the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be able to see all of that, and you have a chance of winning this. Or like I said, if you got a friendly store wherever you are, I can work something out with them. All right, well, that does it for this. Like I said, we have some other stuff. We have some more 30K coming up later this week. We have some conquest and some other material. As soon as I can edit it, this actually is a very crazy week for me, but next week I have absolutely nothing. So you might get a few extra things this week than just the 30K episode Friday. Or you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff next week because I have plenty of time to sit down and do it. All right, well, on behalf of everyone here on the show, has a good hobbying. It's a great gaming.